Dave from HeyUGuys. Nice to meet you.
Hi, HeyUGuys. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. The film was fantastic, and I really enjoyed it.
Oh, good.
One of the main things, I guess, a character in the film was the production design, the actual sets that you were on, and on the shooting on location as well. And being a big European history buff, as I just read in the production notes, so you must have been in your element to go along to look at all these things.
Yes, I mean, I have to say, to be able to shoot in some of these national monuments, which is really unheard of, it was unbelievable. I think Paul would have really just called it quits if we hadn't gotten these locations, because you know, the movie would have been more expensive than Avatar if we would have had to build these sets, and I don't even think they would have looked as authentic as obviously shooting in the real castles. So to be able to do that was such an honor and a privilege, and really added so much beauty, especially when you think about the 3D aspect of the film, because a lot of people use 3D as a gimmick. Yeah, let's throw something at the camera and people will duck, which of course we do a lot of in this movie, and the action sequences are out of this world. But at the same time, it really gives such a depth to these castles, to the costumes. You really feel like you're walking in to these palaces with us. And I think that's just spectacular to be able to do that. I mean, nobody's ever really done a historical movie in 3D, and I think Paul is really spearheading this technology in a whole new direction.
You mentioned the costumes, which was another thing that just blew me away. You know, every scene there was a new costume that you hadn't seen before, and they were just stunning. And on Twitter, I saw you tweeted some, so when you were filming the movie. How was that in these magnificent dresses and fighting in them as well at the same time?
Definitely the dresses were incredible, and every girl wants to feel like a princess at one point or another. But, you know, they were very true to the period. So the corsets were extremely tough and extremely tight, and the skirts were very heavy. So definitely after the first few days of feeling like, ooh, I'm a princess, I said, oh man, am I glad that I didn't live in that century.
So your supporting cast, or the other cast members, are all fantastic as well.
Oh,
what was it like working with Christoph Waltz? Because there's a scene where it's very intense, where he's asking you if you're a double agent, and it looked like it was a really tough one to shoot, but very, very good as well.
Well, Christoph is so lovely and such a gentleman and such an amazing actor. It was a great honor to be able to work with him. And, you know, it was also fun to be able to mentally spar with him in front of a camera. So I had a really great time being able to use Milady De Winter in that way to you know, be able to sort of wrap him around my little finger, or this little finger.
The fight sequences looked very tough. The choreography was brilliant. How long did it take you to learn how to fight like that? Or had you done anything like that before in previous roles?
Well, bringing more than 10 years of experience doing action films to this movie was such a plus, because the costumes themselves were the most challenging part of doing the fight sequences for me. So my real training was, how do I actually get used to dressing like this and fight without passing out, because my oxygen is just totally cut off. So I had them make like a makeshift Milady gown out of canvas, and every day they would add more fabric to the skirt to give it the weight, and every day they would cinch me in, you know, tighter and tighter, until I got used to, you know, having the Milady waistline. So it was kind of like climbing a mountain, you know. The higher you go, the less oxygen you have, so you have to sort of do it step by step and rest, step by step, rest.
Brilliant. I've got to wrap up, but I really enjoyed the film, and I can't wait for the rest of the UK to see it next week when it comes out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.